Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been the craziest last few months. Like, I can't even begin to explain. I'm going to try to explain, but it's been crazy the last couple of months. Like, I think the last video that I did on here was my what I eat in a day post gastric bypass surgery. And so much has changed. So much has changed. As you can tell by the title of this video. I'm not sure what I'm going to name it yet. So I am pregnant. I am 24 weeks pregnant with a baby boy. How it all started. It was completely unplanned. Like, my husband, well, I can't say completely unplanned. We intended fully on waiting the full 18 months they want you to wait post weight loss surgery to start trying, because I don't think I've ever done like a backstory of my husband and I's journey. But we have been together for 10 years, and for 8 of those years, we have been trying to conceive. We did 2 failed rounds of fertility treatments. We did the IUI treatments, which didn't work. My husband then was diagnosed with testicular cancer, which was a whole nother ordeal. He ended up having to have a really, really significant surgery for that, which luckily he is in remission and is cancer-free, thank the Lord. But we didn't know if that was going to play a part in us being able to have biological children in the future. So, as you guys know, I have severe PCOS, so there was a lot of issues on my end working against us getting pregnant. So, I ended up having the gastric bypass surgery on September 22nd of 2020. And it was a very, very rough recovery. There was complications during the surgery. The surgery ended up taking way longer than it was supposed to, because my anatomy was not what they expected when they went in to do the surgery. So they had to do a whole bunch of other things. Well, after that, like I said, the recovery was very hard for me. All the stories that I've read and all my friends who have gone through the same surgery, they didn't have such a rough time. So I went into it not expecting for it to be as bad as it was. I was expecting like a month of recovery time. 1 month ended up turning into 4 months recovery for just the surgery. And then directly after that, I was starting to kind of feel better after the surgery, and then I got hit with kidney issues. Like, I was having back-to-back kidney stones. I was in and out of hospitals due to the size and severity of the kidney stones. I ended up having to be admitted for a week. During Christmas, I was in the hospital for that. I ended up having 2 surgeries, like 2 stents put in. So I had 2 surgeries for the stents, 2 surgeries for the stent removals. It was just a whole ordeal. And so it was probably, like I said, I got the bariatric surgery in September. I had the kidney surgeries and issues in December into January. So this whole time, this is a TMI disclaimer. So if you don't want to hear, I'm not going to get like into details of sexual things, but I mean, it's mentioned. So from September to January, I was not sexually active, because when I say I was down and out, I couldn't move on my own. My husband had to help me get up and physically take me into the restroom to help me just to use the restroom. It was horrible. I couldn't shower on my own. So there was nothing going on there. Well, I started feeling better because I had the the stents removed at the end of December, and so I was feeling great. And so my husband's birthday is on January 6th. Well, one thing led to another. January 6th was the first time ever, if you know what I mean. Well, I had, so let me back up a little. They want you to go on birth control, which I couldn't at the time because I was so quick after surgery. And with the back-to-back in the hospital, I just didn't have time to go to my OB's office to get on birth control. I had made an appointment, and there was like a week until I was about to get on birth control. It was like February the 20th, I was scheduled to be put on birth control. So my husband and I convened our relations January 6th, his birthday. And I started like 2 weeks after, I was just not feeling good. I was like, my chest was real tender. I was just, everything was making me nauseous, and like smells was making me sick. So I decided to test, and it came up negative. So I tested February, so it was about a month later, because I tested February the 9th, and it was negative, straight negative, no faint lines, nothing. So tested negative February the 9th, and then that night, the night of February 9th, I was asleep, obviously, and I had like the most vivid dream. Like in the dream, I took a pregnancy test, and it came up positive, and it felt so real. Like it was one of those dreams where, like, when you wake up, you were like, had to contemplate, like, wait a second, was that an actual dream, or did this happen in real life, sort of thing. Well, when I woke up so this would be on February the 10th, when I woke up, I had an extra pregnancy test from the day before, and I was like, I'm just gonna take it, like, it's just laying here anyway. I had this weird dream where it felt super real, so I'm just gonna take it. So I didn't think about filming or anything, because I wanted to catch that moment on film whenever we find out we're pregnant. And it was completely unexpected. I 100% expected it to be negative, because the one the day before was straight negative. And so I took the test, and I sat it on the counter, didn't think anything of it, went into the kitchen because I was going to make coffee, and then I had gone back into the restroom to check it, and it was 100% positive. Like, it was a straight positive test. I'll insert pictures here. Of the test. And it was one of those dollar store HCG ones, so it was like the super, super cheap one. So I'm like, I was freaking out. Like, I was panicking, because my surgeon had told me, like, you need to wait the full 12 to 18 months to get pregnant for health reasons, because at the time, I mean, I'm still so new out from bariatric surgery. I still can hardly eat anything. And it was still real new. It was like, I had lost probably 80 to 90 pounds at this point since September. So I was down, excuse me, I was down 80 to 90 pounds. So things like my body was actually working correctly, because before, when I was super overweight, I wouldn't ovulate on my own. I didn't have menstrual cycles. I had gone 6 years without a menstrual cycle. But ever since the surgery, I was having them regularly. So once a month, you know, it would come on time. I didn't think anything of it, because I was so used to not having menstrual cycles that I hadn't noticed that I didn't have one since after I had the stents removed in December. So because this was at 6 o'clock in the morning when I took the pregnancy test, and it was positive. So I was like, okay, this must be a bad test, because I literally just tested yesterday, the day before, and it was negative. I waited until the Rite Aid in my area opened up, which was like 8 o'clock, and I had to clock in to work, which I'm still working from home, thank God. I had to clock into work at 8:30. Got in the car, rushed to Rite Aid, picked up pregnancy test, came home, took the test. As soon as I took the test, because they usually say to wait like 3 to 5 minutes for results, as soon as the absorption line did its thing, it was bright positive. And I was panicking. Like, I was so scared. I was so happy that it felt unreal because we had waited for this for so long. So I was beyond excited, but at the same time terrified, because I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm not supposed to be pregnant right now because I had just had the bariatric surgery. So I'm like, great. What do I do? I was panicking because, I mean, that's the scariest thought, you know, like, I'm hardly getting nutrition enough for myself. So the thought of now providing for me and this little baby terrified me, absolutely terrified me. So I was supposed to get put on birth control on the 15th. It was either the 15th or the 16th of February. We found out I was pregnant on the 10th. So I'm like, it was just crazy. So the first trimester, I'm not even gonna lie, I don't know if this is just because I had just come off of my bariatric surgery too. My first trimester was the absolute worst thing, other than the surgery, my bariatric surgery and my kidney stones, that I have gone through. They say you have morning sickness. I didn't have morning sickness. I had all day, every day sickness. If I would move, I would get sick. If I drank anything, I would get sick. I couldn't even eat. Like, the thought of food made me sick, and I would physically get sick. So I ended up in the hospital multiple times during my first trimester to get fluids and IV vitamins, because I couldn't handle anything. I was on the vitamin patches at this point because I was still unable to swallow really anything. So the first trimester was horrible. Like I said, I couldn't eat. The only thing that I could do was lay and pray that I wouldn't get sick. And then, of course, the first trimester also, because I've wanted this for so long. Like, my husband and I have wanted this for so long. So the first trimester in general was terrifying, because you always have that thought in the back of your mind, like, I want to be so excited because I've been waiting for this for so long, but I'm also terrified to get too excited because, God forbid, if something were to happen, I wouldn't be able to handle that. So it was just really scary. First, like I said, the first trimester, terrifying. Made it into the second trimester, which is where I'm at now. Thank the Lord. He's doing great. We decided to name him Elliot Wayne, which I'm in love with that name. So in love with the name. We are putting the final touches on his nursery. I go in so we went in on, when we got to 20 weeks, we went in for the anatomy scan, but he was super stubborn and wouldn't cooperate with the tech. So she didn't get all of the images that she needed. So we actually go tomorrow for my 24-week checkup, and we're going to get another anatomy scan done. But based off of the first one, they said that he is developing just fine. My restriction for food has lifted tremendously. I'm not as because before, I don't know if you know anything in depth about bariatric surgery, but I could only eat around 2 ounces of food every 2 hours at a time because I had my stomach removed. So that was hard. And so my restrictions has lifted. Like, I'm eating every hour and a half, and I'm eating a lot more than I did. I got down previously, like before I got pregnant, I was down 100, I think I got down 130 pounds, 120, 130 pounds. And I'm maintaining my weight. I think that I've only gained 5 pounds. Yeah, I've gained 5 pounds so far this pregnancy, which I want him to be healthy. That's all that I care about. But I also don't want to gain all my weight back, if that makes any sense. Like, that scares me. But I mean, if that's what it takes to make sure that he's healthy, I'm fine with it. So we did have a gender reveal, which I thought about posting videos of that on here, but it was not like super good quality footage. I don't even know how good this is going to be because the sun is going down and I'm shooting in the nursery because this is the only room that had a light, like a light fixture that I can position myself in front of. So I was going to upload the gender reveal, but I don't know if I'm going to. I might try to piece pieces of it together and like edit it somehow and post it on here, but that is everything so far. I want to get into more family styled videos. It's probably honestly what this channel is going to turn into. I'm sorry if that's not something you're interested in. I completely understand because it's total opposite of what I've done previously on the channel. I don't really do my makeup anymore, so this is the most makeup I've had on in a while, and that's just because my sister and I went out shopping today for baby shower things. So I'm going to do like baby hauls, and like I want to do a labor and delivery vlog, but I'm not sure how that's gonna go because right now with COVID restrictions, I'm not sure exactly how it's gonna go. I know my husband's allowed to be in there, but we're gonna be a nervous wreck the whole time. Like neither one of us are gonna think to pick up a camera and film anything probably. So if I'm allowed to have more than just my husband and I in the room, I might have one of my sisters film because I'm sure I'm gonna have one of them in the room with us. If they're allowed. So I'll try to see if I can get one of them to vlog or something. And then from there, it's probably going to be like a day in the life of a new mom videos. Because we've come to the decision where I am actually retiring from working and going to be a full-time stay-at-home mom while my husband works. Because it makes more sense. Both of us were fortunate enough to be able to have just him work. We can survive on one income. We're not fond of the idea of someone else watching our kid, which I know that works for a big majority of the people, and there's nothing wrong with that. It just terrifies me, honestly. I see so many bad things on the news and on the internet now of it scares me. I'm paranoid. So it'll be a lot of like daily vlogging of me and Elliot, and I'm sure Roger will be in some of the videos. But yeah, if you are interested in stuff like that, or you want to follow along on this super, super exciting journey that we have just begun, then make sure you stay tuned. And if you are subscribed, if you hit the bell notification, you should get notified anytime I post a new video, which I'm going to try to do them more frequently. I'm going to do like hauls and things and like what I pack in my hospital bag, videos like that up until October, because that's when he's due, is in October. And then after that, I'll probably be more frequent videos because I'll be home and not working. Well, not working at my job any longer. So I'll be able to have more time to film, which I'm sure I'm going to be busy, but I'll have more time at home, to film and things like that. So it should be more frequent come October, November-ish, because the beginning of October is probably going to be hectic and getting used to life with a newborn. So November we'll probably start picking back up. But I'm very excited to get back to filming. I've missed filming. It feels weird sitting in front of this camera right now, but I'm sure I'll get used to it again. If you guys have any suggestions of videos to do, or if you have any newborn items, things like that you recommend, because I don't know what I'm doing, honestly. I'm just like going with the flow, getting the essentials, trying to, ask around of what others recommend. So if you have any suggestions for videos, or newborn items or things that you would like me to try or video ideas, leave them in the comment section down below. I love reading your guys' comments. They make me happy. But I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.